Okay, so let's unpack this one. Today we're taking a deep dive into Edward Bernays' Crystallizing Public Opinion. It's a really foundational text, came out way back in 1923.
Right, and Bernays, people call him the father of modern public relations. He was also Sigmund Freud's nephew, which is definitely relevant here.
Absolutely. And his insights, even though they're a century old, feel incredibly relevant today. So our mission really is to explore how PR works according to Bernays' understanding group beliefs, using symbols skillfully.
And then getting into the ethical side of it all, which
Oh,
is, always a big part of the conversation with Bernays.
definitely. And it's interesting, this book wasn't just theory, it actually came out of the first PR course he taught at NYU.
Yeah, he was laying the academic groundwork while still being very much a practitioner. It's a true classic.
So given his background, especially the Freud connection, what was his fundamental insight about influencing people?
Well, Bernays figured out pretty early on that you don't really succeed by trying to change people's core beliefs directly. It's much more effective to understand the existing beliefs of social groups and sort of align with them.
Right, tap into what's already there.
Exactly. He saw the PR expert almost as a group psychologist. We
Right.
all belong to tons of groups, right? Profession, gender, hobbies. And these groups shape how we see things, how we act.
And sometimes that influence makes us do things that don't seem logical from the outside.
Oh, absolutely. Think about those conformity experiments, like Ash's study in the 50s.
Yeah, where people picked the obviously wrong answer just because everyone else did.
Precisely. Something like 75% conformed at least once. It shows that powerful pull to belong. So for PR, Bernays realized trying to fight a group's deeply held beliefs is usually, well, pointless.
He used that play, An Enemy of the People, as an example, didn't he?
He did. The doctor tells the truth, but it hurts the town's wallet, so they reject him. It's about group consensus, even over facts sometimes.
So the genius move is working with that consensus.
Yes. Like the Lucky Strike campaign in '29. He didn't argue smoking was good. He linked it to women's rights, calling cigarettes torches of freedom.
Making it a symbol of liberation for women who weren't supposed to smoke in public then.
And it worked. Sales jumped massively that year. Which brings us to his second big technique.
The art of using symbols. This feels like the core of his method.
It really is. Associating your client or your product with symbols that already have positive meaning for the target group. Purity, goodness, status, whatever fits.
Because we respond to symbols almost instinctively.
We do. Humans are symbolic creatures. Think about how politicians often pose with children.
Right, the symbol of innocence makes them seem trustworthy.
Or Bernays advising bacon marketers to position it not just as tasty, but as a healthy American breakfast. He basically invented that idea.
He also did that with pianos, right? Making them a symbol of taste for the wealthy.
Yeah, suggesting a music room became a kind of status symbol. It's about associating the product with a desirable identity or value.
We still see this everywhere, like bottled water brands calling themselves Nature's Porter or the Champagne of Water.
Exactly. Even if the actual product difference is tiny, like the Perrier CEO failing his own blind taste test, the symbol is what matters.
Especially now, when so many products are basically the same, the brand's symbolic meaning is almost everything.
But this power, this ability to shape perception through symbols, inevitably raises ethical questions. PR has always had this reputation for being, well, manipulative.
Yeah, critics like Habermas even called it refeudalization, like brands were becoming the new feudal lords demanding loyalty.
And Bernays himself got a lot of flack. For the smoking campaigns, obviously, but also because his book was supposedly found in Goebbels' library.
How did he defend himself against that kind of criticism?
His argument was basically that PR, or persuasion, is just a tool. Like any technology, it can be used for good or ill. He argued it's an unavoidable part of society, going way back.
So, since we can't eliminate it, we need to set ethical boundaries.
Right. He proposed two main principles for PR folks. One, the information has to be truthful and accurate. Two, you should only take clients whose goals align with the public good.
Which sounds good in theory, but
Huh.
how easy is that to stick to in the real world? That's the big question, isn't it?
It really is. Defining the public good alone is a challenge.
So wrapping this up, Bernays' ideas from a century ago about group psychology and symbols are still incredibly powerful. He really did shape how institutions talk to us.
He moved PR thinking beyond just pushing out information towards something more like a two-way street, understanding the public mind.
Absolutely. So thinking about all this, What's a symbolic maneuver you've noticed recently out in the world, and how does knowing Bernays' playbook maybe change how you see it? Something for you, the listener, to think about.